And you know what? Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I'm going to interview you now. So what makes you, I want you to be honest. I want you to be really honest. And with this as well, try not to overthink. Try not to overthink. What makes you happy? Give me 3 things that make you happy. How are you? You okay?
I have a cold. Other than that, I'm great. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, don't worry. Listen, it's an absolute pleasure.
You know, this is Welcome to Interethers interviews. And what this is really an emphasis on the human heart.
Oh, thank you. It's brilliant.
It's really the capacity that we have to feel others' stories and how it moves us, how it inspires us.
Yeah.
We also have this capacity to be good people in the world.
Definitely.
I saw your story on Instagram, and you have a beautiful gym in Manchester.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously what really caught my eye is you train people with disabilities for free.
Yeah.
And if that's not unbelievably beautiful in itself, your passion, your enthusiasm, your care for them, the smile on their faces. I just want to play a quick video of who you are. So instead of me explaining it when this interview goes live, I really want people to see who you are. It's about 2 minutes. It's an interview you did.
My name's Javeno, owner of the world famous J7 Health Centre in Manchester. Been doing this a long time, and I've been training people with disabilities and elderly people free for 22 years. I've learned to always speak my mind, to be humble. Gratitude is a must. I'm just trying to trick people into being healthy. I try and disguise exercise as much as I can and get people as strong as I can physically and mentally.
Javeno pushes me to be the best that I can be. He's just my best friend, my big brother, and I'd be lost without him.
It's not as overwhelming as like other gyms, but when you come here, there's like a sense of family and a sense of community. That's why I like it here.
I get joy, man. I get joy. When you can make somebody fall in love with exercise, that love and happiness then filters through to that person's family, and you see your whole family become happy and joyful through my little daft personality. It means the world to me.
It's helping me a lot with my mobility, my belief in myself, and just my overall confidence. You cannot get another Javeno if you tried.
I just want people around the world to keep on smiling through my work. I want people around the world who are disabled or elderly to keep on getting inspiration off the work that I do. And I'm just trying to put my little Javeno stamp on the world, and I just hope that it continues.
So let's talk about your beautiful heart, because it's, in my opinion, magnificent. Like just magnificent.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm in Manchester, but I was born in Jamaica. I was born in the beautiful island of Jamaica. And do you know what, Trish? When I watch videos like that, it gets me emotional, because the human experience is something that we're all going through. The world's not the nicest at the moment. I've got that. You see I don't watch the news, darling. For the last couple of years, I physically can't watch the news because all we're seeing is hate, politics. And at the end of the day, despite whether someone's in America or the UK or Ukraine or Israel or Japan, Thailand, whether someone's black, white, Muslim, Christian, we're all just living a human experience, and we're all going through the same stuff. And then I don't think it's that hard. I'm so humbled, and I don't see the hype. I've said this so many times, like, I don't see the hype. I don't believe what I'm doing is amazing. I really don't. I just see it as, this is what humans should be doing anyway. This is what we all should be doing anyway. And it's just a shame that it's taken the world by storm, and I don't see the magic, because I've been doing this for that long, and I've never chased money. Like I said, I've done this for 22 years for free, because I truly believe that if you're trying to help somebody on the purest part of your heart and soul, there's not an ATM machine, there's not a Bank of America, there's no checkbook. It's just a human helping somebody else. So that's what I've always been like, and just to see how far it's gone and how far it's going. I'm proud of myself that I've stuck to my guns, Trish, because I've had challenges over the years where I'm not your typical PT. You will never see me with my top off on trying to show all my muscles. That was never my style. And many years ago, people tried to encourage me to be that person. And I said, I'm not trying to sell sex. I'm not trying to sell sex. I'm trying to sell human experiences that everyone in the world can relate to. Whether it's somebody in a wheelchair that's battling certain issues, whether it's somebody with terminal cancer, whether it's a lady with dementia, heart issues, somebody with cerebral palsy, somebody with Down syndrome. We're all going through the same stuff as humans that are relatable. And I'm so glad that I stuck to being true to myself, and it's just putting a little bit of a smile into the world.
You know, we could not agree more about every single thing that you just said. And it was really the reason why I started this. I really wanted to put a spotlight on what truly matters in the world. And I'm not knocking anybody, but it's not celebrity. It's not fame. It's not fortune. It's not how much you have. It's not how much you can conquer. It's not power. It's none of those things that really serve no one. They serve one's ego. What really matters, and our strongest ability as human beings above any other species that's in existence, is our compassion and our caring and our ability to help each other. Life is so challenging.
Yeah, of course.
So difficult, but it's so much lighter when people care about you.
Of course.
And the woman in the clip, you know, the last thing she said was, we couldn't get another Javeno if we tried. And how you give her more confidence, the ability to do that, to encourage someone that has so many more obstacles than you and I, has every reason to not try. And no one would make any of those people feel badly about not wanting to go to the gym, because it's so hard. But the encouragement and the lift and the positivity that you bring, that's really the work that I want to do, and the work that I want people to see more. It's really the most important thing in the entire world.
Of course it is. And you know what else is really important? Acceptance.
Absolutely.
I've got some of the people that I train are the most strong-minded people I've ever come across in my life. They don't complain or moan. They don't look for sympathy. They say, Jay, what we doing today? And they just do it. We live in a world where people moan and are so grateful for what they've been given. Yet some humans that I train who have been given the worst possible start to life, they don't complain, they don't moan, and they are so resilient. And I just think, you know what? I'm getting older, man. I'm going to be 40 on the 4th of Jan soon. And as I've thank you. And as I've gotten older, I've just realized, and you know what I think is the most important thing? Well, I've got a few things that are really important, but I've got 2 beautiful little boys. And just when you make a beautiful memory that will live forever, make a memory with somebody that you both have got ownership of. It's a memory that's so powerful. And people always ask me about success and what success means to me and the things that are important to me. And I swear to God, from every molecule in my body, it's not about 6-packs. It's not about biceps and triceps. It's about when I see these people that I train have the confidence to just accept who they are and accept that, you know what, the world may not accept me, but I accept me. Absolutely. And I'm going to live my life to the fullest. Even 2 weeks ago, one of my youngsters, so proud of him, man. I'm proud of him, but it also shows you the harsh reality of life sometimes, where he's never had a birthday party. He's 21. He's never had. Don't get me wrong. His parents are fantastic,
of course,
but he's always, no, I don't want a birthday party. He didn't think he was worthy of celebration. And every single time I see him, I say to him, tell me 3 things that you like about yourself. And he thought it was very weird. And the whole point of that drill was to make sure that he knows how amazing he is and he doesn't feel embarrassed to say how amazing he is. He doesn't feel embarrassed to say that, do you know what? I like the way I dress. I like my hair. I like my sense of humor. And it gets to the point now where the first few months he was so embarrassed. Now I want him to own it. I want him to say, do you know what? My name is, I'm not going to say his name, but I like that I'm this, this, and this. And I want him to just be that walking embodiment of confidence and self-belief. And last week, he had his first birthday party.
Beautiful.
And that to me it makes it worth it, because how dare you not feel that you're deserving of celebrating your birthday? It's part of the human experience. It's not about money. It's not about having a massive Grammy type celebration.
It's about celebrating yourself.
Celebrating yourself, and that you're fantastic, and that you're here, and that you're living and you're breathing, and that the loved ones can say, do you know what? Happy birthday. And it broke my heart when he said, never had one because I don't feel like I need to celebrate me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate you, and you're going to get sick of me celebrating you. And it's going to get to the point where I'm going to celebrate you that much, where you're going to now believe that this is normal. You're going to believe that this is just like oxygen, and I'm so invested, Trish. I'm so invested in what I do because I truly believe it. I don't get nervous, and sometimes when people ask me questions, I find it hard to put into words. But I've got this weird thing. If I see or feel that somebody can do with some self-belief, some confidence, some self, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna find a way. I don't know how, but I will find a way to fill you and pump you with self-belief and self-worth, and we're gonna enjoy it together because I've never failed. So I'm very lucky in that regards.
It makes me think. Did you ever find yourself at a point in your life where you didn't have as much self-belief? It's kind of like it takes one to know one, you know? So
that's what I mean. It's no, Trish. It's
what you've always had.
I can't, and this is, the only way I can explain it is, like I said, I've got my 2 beautiful boys and I've got my wife. I couldn't put into words how much I love my family. If you ask me now to write down how much I love my wife and my kids, I couldn't put into words. But that's when you know it's real and powerful, where it's so undescribable.
Yeah.
But I know how it's so valuable, because I can't describe my love for my kids and my wife. So now, that's the only way I describe my work. I've got nobody in my family that I know with a disability or in a wheelchair. But when I was 16, I seen something that made me. There was a disabled man in the park that I intervened with, and I don't know why it went over. I had no right. I had no business to go over and intervene in this family's day out. But something, a higher power, I don't know, said I need to go over. I seen a look in this man's face, and I knew that I could give him some joy, whether it be my words or with my
Do you
presence.
remember what was happening?
Oh yes, I've told this story many times, and if you've never heard it, I'll tell you now. It's do you know the spot? What part of America are you in America?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh, I want to go.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Have you ever heard of a sport called cricket?
Of course.
Or have you? Right.
Yes.
A lot of sport I know.
On the horse, right?
Hey?
You're on the horse?
No.
No, that's polo.
No.
That's polo.
That's polo. Cricket is a sport. Cricket, it's kind of like baseball. Kind of like baseball.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground with a bat to the ball. But it's a big. Anyway, I used to be a professional cricket player. Long story short. And I was 16, Trish, and I'm doing a coaching session with a young group of cricket players, just in a park on a field. I couldn't take my eyes off this gentleman in the corner. There was a family, an Asian family. Cricket is massive in India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. And I could see the Asian family, and they were playing their game of cricket. Couldn't take my eyes off this family because there was a gentleman in a wheelchair. Rest in peace. He's passed away now, called Ishmael. And I just couldn't take my eyes off this man because he's in his wheelchair and he just wanted in. Do you know when he's somebody that just wants to be in?
Yes.
And I was so disgusted that they weren't involving him. And there was quite a lot of them. There was maybe 10, 15, and I went over. I stopped the game that I was coaching. And I went over and I asked a question. I said to somebody, who is this man to you? One person said it's my father. One person said it's my brother, uncle, friend. And I said, how dare you not get him involved? Everyone's having the greatest day. The sun was out. It's summertime. Ice cream, music. How dare you not get him involved?
Oh.
He wants in. Look at him. And everyone looked at me. And I was a skinny 16-year-old kid who had no business to go over. And I said, this is what we're going to do. And I'm so glad, Trish, that I did it. I said, this is what we're going to do. We're all going to come together. So I got the group that I was coaching. I got the family. We all came together. And I said, this is what we're going to do. And I rolled him into the middle of the field. And I gave him the bat. It's a cricket bat. It's like a baseball bat.
Right.
And I said, everyone's gonna take turns of bowling. You know, like in baseball, it's called the pitcher.
Yeah.
In cricket, it's called the bowler, where you bowl the ball.
Okay.
And then he has to hit the ball. And I said, he's gonna get the bat, and everyone is gonna bowl to him. If he misses the ball, swings and misses, nothing happens. If he swings and he hits the ball, everybody has to do one press up. So I made it into a fitness game.
Interesting.
And for 2 hours, we had the greatest time. And it was only him in his wheelchair batting the whole 2 hours. And at the end of the game, his wife came over to me and she didn't speak one word of English, but she gave me a hug that I knew exactly what she wanted to say. She didn't let go of me for 10 minutes.
Well,
and then Ishmael came over. And he spoke pretty good English, but he explained to me he wasn't born disabled. There was an accident that paralyzed him. And he said it's the first time in 10 years that he's felt alive. And that just always stuck with me.
Can I ask you something about your parents? Were your parents or a grandparent influential in the kind of person that you are? That you, at 16 years old, kind of had this knowing and intuition and bravery and courage to kind of intervene in a group of strangers and include someone in something that, had it not been at that point in time, would probably never had been included anything for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I generally believe that my when I look at it now, like I said, I'm nearly 40 and I look at my life in different ways and I always think, why am I like this? And I genuinely believe I was raised in a house full of love. Like my mum and dad, who are still together, who I'm still lucky to have alive. They raised me and my brothers and all my family in a house full of love. And all I ever seen growing up was my mum and my dad who would bend over backwards just to make me and my brothers happy.
Right.
We weren't, it's not about finances. We wasn't about money.
I get it.
And I think one of the most underrated forms of love is listening. And my mum and dad, no matter what we went through, would always listen. And I always kind of, as I've grown up, I thought, I always want to be the person. We live in a world now, it's so fast-paced, everything's so quick.
No.
I want to listen. And I think if you actually sit and listen to people, problem solving is very easy. And you know what? Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I'm going to interview you now. So what makes you, I want you to be honest. I want you to be really honest. And with this as well, try not to overthink. Try not to overthink. What makes you happy? Give me 3 things that make you happy.
This makes me happy. Speaking to people like you makes me really happy. Seeing my kids succeed, believe in themselves, but seeing them on their own, being good human beings in the world, that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
And having a healthy body and a healthy mind and not having to worry about any of those things when I exercise every day, when I go to brush my teeth, when I reach for something in a cabinet, that makes me really happy and grateful.
Tell me 2 things that you like about yourself.
I love my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm really funny.
Reason why, yeah, go on.
I'm shooting it back to you.
I love that I'm strong.
Mm.
And I love that I always put people first. I always put other people first, and I love that I am that person to do that. And I love that I'm very kind. I'm not the most thoughtful. There's a difference between being thoughtful. Like my wife, my wife is really thoughtful. And what I mean by that is, say if it was my birthday, my wife wouldn't just get me a card. She'd get me a card, and she might put some rose petals in it, and she might leave me a note on the breakfast table to say, have a great day at work. Very thoughtful. Yeah. Sometimes as a man, I'm not the most thoughtful, but I'm just really, really kind. I would give you the clothes off my back if you was cold and not care. But the reason why I'm asking you that, Trisha, is it's a gratitude drill that I do with people every single day. And you see, when I asked you what makes you happy, the fact that you could tell me shows how blessed you are. The fact that when I said to you, tell me 2 things you like about yourself, and you could tell me you are highly blessed. Every single day, at least once a day, at least twice a day, I ask people them same series of questions and they can't answer it. And it breaks my heart that if I say to somebody, what makes you happy? And they can't tell me anything. And I go, oh my God, what's happened in life or society that you can't pinpoint something that makes you happy? Or better yet, when I say to you, what do you like about yourself? It becomes so awkward. It breaks my heart. And I think when I see them kind of things or them kind of responses to them questions, it just fuels me with a fire to go, give me 6 weeks. I'm going to ask you that question again. And I want you to be able to say, this makes me happy. This is what I like about myself. Can I ask you another question?
Of course.
This is a world exclusive, right?
Oh.
So the question that I asked you before about what do you like about yourself, them questions, and I put them on social media, they've gone crazy. It went crazy viral.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
Yeah, and somebody said something to me yesterday, and it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. It was a very simple question. And do you know what it was? Right? I'm going to ask you right now. And the answer wasn't what I thought I would have said. It was really weird. So the question is, Trisha, what do you want?
To change the world. To be a kinder, gentler, more accepting, more loving place. That has been in my brain since I can remember. Like literally my earliest thoughts. I don't know how far back it goes, but it goes as far back as I remember. I remember reading about Mother Teresa when I was younger and how she created this, she converted this church. I forget the name of the city, but she converted this church into a place where the untouchables could go. The people that no one would care for, that were dying, that had leprosy, that had boils on their face, and no one would go near them. But she would create a comfortable place for them to rest and possibly pass away. But she would also clean the toilets. So they would have a clean place to go to the bathroom with dignity. And I remember reading these things, or reading about Gandhi and his efforts to get rid of the caste society in India. And it always, and maybe there are similar stories in your life where you just developed a kind of, you cared.
Of course.
I don't know. My grandmother was, the theme of Inter Ethers interviews. My grandmother had this little statue. She lived with us when, up till about I was like 10 or 11 years old. She had this little statue in her room, and on the bottom of it was an inscription, and it said, "God don't make no junk." And it stuck with me. And she had very little money. Maybe she had a few $100s that she received from the government every month from Social Security or whatever. But she would send out these envelopes every month to all of these different charities, $5, a $5 check. She'd have a stack of envelopes. That's just who she was.
Yeah.
And I'm 47. And for the rest of my life, I want to live it in a way where this message is stronger than competition, having to be a certain way, who has the most money, who's the most famous, who has the most power.
Yep.
The leaders of the world, there's billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars. And there's still people that are hungry.
Yep.
And there's still people that have no food.
Yep.
They don't have clean water. They don't have somewhere to sleep. It makes no sense.
Yep.
Why is that?
It's a fantastic answer. And it opens up so much. It was such a simple question, but it got so deep so quickly for me when that person asked me that question. Just like it did for you just then. It's and I think if you would have asked you or me that question when we was 18 or 19, I bet the answer would have been totally different.
What's your answer?
To be seen. Not me. I want people to be seen. so many people living lives where they're not seen. They're just existing in a world where they're not seen, they're not noticed. And I just want people to be seen. And I also just want to show people how easy it is to change the world. And I don't mean that patronizingly. It is very easy to change the world, to change someone's life, to change someone's day. It's so simple for me. Asking somebody good morning, saying good morning, asking somebody, are you okay? Asking somebody, I'm not seeing you in a while. Are you okay? Where have you been? I go to this class in New York City and I've not seen you for 3 weeks. Are you okay? It's so simple. And I just think I want from this, it's not fame or money, just to show people it is easy to change the world if you just do the most simple, human, beautiful things, like asking somebody if they're okay and actually listening to people.
Or holding the door.
Yes. Yes. And the craziest thing is, and this is from experience, from the stuff that I've done, some of the most beautiful compliments that I've ever received have been from the most simple things where I literally go, oh. Somebody said to me a long time ago, when Ben, quite a few people have said it to me. They've said, Jay makes me feel seen, but also Jay doesn't see my wheelchair. Because to this day, Trish, I never ask people too much about the disability. I train people. I trained a young boy this morning. I've trained him for 1.5 years, and I've never asked him about his disability. Because I don't see the wheelchair. I see Timmy. I don't see the medical records. I don't see his medication. I see Timmy. I see a 19-year-old young boy who's a bit cheeky, that needs to do, that we're trying to get stronger. We're trying to get his mobility. We're trying to get his core strength up. I don't see his disability. I don't see his wheelchair. And he said, how come you've never asked me about my disability? And I said, I don't care. I said, it's irrelevant to me. I said, I care about you, the human, the person, the young boy. I don't care about anything else. And that was one of the biggest compliments for me, that he says, because I'm seeing him, if that makes sense. I'm seeing him. I'm not seeing a condition. I'm not seeing a disease. I'm not seeing medication. I'm just
a human being.
I've seen a human being. And that question, I said, I'm going to start asking people that question, because I'm very curious to what people want. I asked it to somebody also yesterday, and I said to her, what do you want? And she said, it really, it got me really emotional, because she said, I just want my mum and I just want my parents, because she's an older woman. Well, not older, she's in her 50s, early 50s, and her parents are still with us. And she said, I just want my mum and dad to know that when they're gone, I'm going to be okay. It blew me away, Trish, because this is a woman she's such a strong woman. And she said she still lives with her parents now, and her parents do a lot of things for her, full-time carers.
Yeah.
Her parents look after her still, because she needs it. And she said, I just want the day that my mum and dad are not here, for them to know, because obviously what a lot of people don't realize is when you have got a child who's disabled, that's a lifetime commitment. It's a lifetime commitment. Yep. Like my two boys are able-bodied. As they go through life, they will probably leave home and go on and live their own lives. When you've got a child who's severely disabled, or a person in your life, that's the full time. You're going to be with that person for life.
Yeah.
This lady's obviously been with her mum and dad for life, and they're getting older now. I think they're in late 80s. So the conversations have been had about the future. And she said, I just want them to know that when they go, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to feed myself. I'm going to be able to bathe myself, wash myself. And it was an emotional thing to hear. Absolutely. And I think that question is such a powerful question when you ask people what they want.
Well, that's a very powerful question for people with disabilities and their caregivers eventually passing away, because that's what happens in every single case. Mm-hmm. And the heartbreaking thing about that is there's really not a lot of care in place for people with disabilities once their caregivers pass away. Who's looking after them? And it's not that I'm saying that they're not independent or not able in any sort of way, shape, or form, but there is some help and assistance that's desperately needed. And I think it's out there, but not as much as it should be. Within our own municipalities and governments and taxes and however our governments spend money in that regard and what's allotted. The needy, the people that truly need, that are not able-bodied, deserve preference.
Yep.
The elderly deserve preference.
Yep.
And I don't know what those books look like. I don't know what the numbers, I can't really speak on those numbers or anything like that. But the woman that you're talking about, who's going to check in on her?
Yep.
No, really, who's going to, if she can't, going to the bathroom and all of those things, who's going to be there? It's my kids, my two older girls, they play tennis, and I tell my kids on a daily basis, you're lucky, or just please, and not in a preachy way, just please don't forget you're lucky.
100%.
Your brain works, your body works, you don't need help to do anything. Please just, if you're ever not having a great day, just please remind yourself of those, simple things.
Yeah. You know what I always say to people as well, Trish? I always say, and I say it to my boys every single day, like similar daily. And I always say to people in England, a bad day in England, the worst day you can have in England, the worst day you can have in the USA, in New Jersey, is paradise to somebody else. So sometimes we moan and we have this nature of moaning about what we haven't got, or we need this, or just typical things. And I say, you know what? The worst day that we can have in England, in our houses, with our cars, with heat and food, and a tap that turns on, and a blanket, and I've got two boys, I've got a 3-year-old. In the middle of the night, if he wants some milk, I go downstairs, I open the fridge.
Full of food.
I can turn on and off a light switch. If it's a bit cold, I can turn up the heating. We are so privileged and blessed. And sometimes safe. And do you know one thing you can do for me, Trish?
Yeah, anything. I mean it.
I don't think you realize how rare you are. Let me tell you why you're very rare and unique. There's many celebrities, right, who are turned down from coming to the gym because you're only coming because you want to
take a picture.
Because guess what? It's very honorable to come down to a gym and say, oh, I've been to a gym today with cancer patients and disabled people. Yay, likes, shares. There's not many people who are as genuine as you. And when you've got a very caring nature about you, right, you can tell. You can't fake it, because I believe, and I'm praying to God, this is what people think with me. You've got this very caring...
I feel your heart so deeply.
Oh, thank you. You've got a very caring aura about you that's so genuine. And when people can feel care, that's how you change people's opinions. That's how you change people's lives. When somebody goes, wait, she cares, he cares. That person doesn't know me. I've never spoken to that person before, but I can tell he or she cares. When somebody feels that, they will jump through hurdles. They will jump through flaming hoops for you. And just speaking to you, I speak to people so many times they don't have that care in them. They don't have that genuine aura about them. And where you, it's flooding through my screen on the other side of the world. And I think, please don't ever change that. And I know you won't, but you've got a bit of power. You've got a lot of power, Trish, because
I feel like we're like brothers and sisters. I feel such a kinship with you. I feel like I don't think it was an accident that we're sitting in front of each other at all.
100%.
And I really, really, really appreciate you reading my words on paper, how I truly, truly meant it. And it really is, it takes one to know one. It really is that kind of similarities that we both share. What you're expressing to me, I feel the same thing.
Thank you so much.
Same exact thing. And when we talk about making a difference, so we start here.
Yeah.
We start here. You have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's generally, you start in your own space. You have to really, truly believe and have a vision of where you're going with it.
Yeah.
And those small changes exponentially, of course, I have fear and doubt regarding interviews. You know, is anyone going to watch an hour interview of, you know, two people talking, and then I stop? And it's not about, just keep going. That's what it's about. Just keep going and keep doing it. It feels right.
Of course it does.
It feels good. Something, the same reason why, which is a really, really beautiful story. I can't wait to tell my kids later about Ishmael.
Mm-hmm.
Something made you do that set you on this course of humanity. And it's not, you know what I love about you? It's not just gotten you to a different place, but you, if there was a picture, if everyone that you brought with you along your journey was behind you, there would be so many people. Imagine what that photograph would look like.
It'd be amazing, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the meaning of it all.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you, darling.
One of the best hours of my life.
Oh, thank you so much, Trish. Listen, keep in contact. And like I said, I'm not, I don't say things that I don't mean. I never do. I say to you, please believe everything that I said. And also, next year we need to do this again. Let's do it again. I think we could talk for 2 months.
I'm filing this in my heart. Filing it in my heart.
Okay.